In other cases, human activity has led to environmental changes that have caused populations to evolve through natural selection. A striking example is that of the population of dark moths in the 19th century in England, which rose and fell in parallel to industrial pollution. These changes can often be observed and documented.
I can't blame them for glossing over this striking example. If the finches are their best example of natural selection, this is certainly the top contender for the spot. What this drive-by reference is talking about is the peppered moth, an insect which, like the beetles in their hypothetical cartoon example, comes in two flavors, white with black spots and black with white spots. The story goes like this. When the Industrial Revolution hit, the soot from factories turned the trees dark, thus making it easier for the dark moth to hide. This meant the light moths were now easier for the birds to find, and the population shifted to have proportionally more dark ones and fewer light ones. Natural selection! Evolution! There are several problems with this story as it pertains to natural selection as a mechanism for evolution. 1. No new information was created. At the start, light and dark moths. At the end, light and dark moths. This will not turn bacteria into wolves and cabbages. 2. The color of the tree had not caused the dark moths to go extinct in the thousands of years before the Industrial Revolution, and so it is doubtful that the color of the trees would make the white ones disappear after it. 3. Even if it did, that is a loss of genetic information, which is not how you turn bacteria into wolves and cabbages. If you go back to those branching diagrams showing speciation events, this is the erasing of one arm, not the splitting of one arm into two arms. It's different. 4. The Clean Air Act of the 1960s resulted in less soot, and thus normal colored trees again. So this example is a short-lived one, with no long-term results. 5. All of that aside, this example is based on poor science and demonstrated with lies. Let me sum it up. The pictures you see in your textbook of the moths resting on the tree trunks are fake. Those moths are dead and were glued there for the photo op. Scientists collecting data for 40 years have found a grand total of 2 moths on the tree trunks, and that photo is not one of them. The moths hide under the leaves, up in the branches, making this example completely moot, and the pictures used to sell it fraudulent, much like the thin and healthy people who are featured in fast food commercials. And yes, this is one of the best examples of natural selection that is said to have been observed. Imagine the ones that didn't make it into the textbooks.